Alright guys, welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 17th September 2019. Just a quick update on EURJPY and to answer the question, somebody sent me an email just asking why the liquidity here is still there, why I was saying, if price comes down here, I'm looking at these equal lows here and the liquidity below here to be taken, okay, when it's already been taken here on the move down. It's a very simple question to answer, and I don't need to go into it too much, to break it down. And I'll just explain it this way. Just imagine that you're long here, or here, or here, and price is moving in favor and you're making some money, and then you get this spike down, it stops you out, wherever your stop is, yeah, it takes you out and rejects, okay? What's to stop a trader who's quite astute, don't have to be a professional trader who's been trading for hundreds of years or anything silly like that. Just a normal trader who got stopped out, sees the spike back, okay, watches the hourly move down, down, back up. This is a 3-hour move, yeah? It's nice. What I'm getting at, it's not just one move from here to here and back again, yeah, in one move. This is quite deliberate, it's quite controlled, and back up, this is rejection at its finest. So what's wrong with a trader getting stopped out and then taking a re-entry here, yeah, and then putting their stop here again? You see what I mean? And then it comes up, takes out all the liquidity above, get the gap down, partial fill, comes down again, respects the level that it's gone through so far, and then hopefully you should start to see a move lower into, again, the equal lows where there is again another build up of stops and liquidity, okay? So that's just a very simple, direct way of explaining, this particular liquidity and how it forms. There are some other things, liquidity, it doesn't dry up just because price has taken it. So for example, if you take a look at this high, and this high, the same rule applies if you want to use the basic logic of retail traders, or traders who are doing re-entries. Goes up here, they're short, and you can, it's ever so subtle, but you can see it. Goes up, you take a short, as it takes the old high, you take a short here, you put your stop above previous high up here, and it does a second round, okay, it takes out the stops above here. Maybe your stop's a bit wider, maybe it isn't, but there are still a lot of traders, remember guys, there are still a lot of traders who are trying to find very tight stops so they can use whatever leverage is available to them, maximize their position so they can make the most money. But there's a lot of gamblers out there, so like I said, the same rule applies. It goes up, it takes out the stops, and then it starts to move in favor. People get agitated, angry, frustrated that they missed the move and they got stopped out, the broker's out to get them, whatever, and then they take a secondary entry somewhere here, for example on the gap fill, because they read that somewhere in a book or online, and again the stops are above here. So there is liquidity build up above here again, and then obviously you've got the rebalance level, but the liquidity builds up again, starts to move away, and then maybe it spikes back up there and takes that, takes them out a second time or a third time. This is why sometimes we get moves where, and you see this a lot on Euro USD, where you get price goes up, comes down, goes up again, yeah, takes out the high, comes down, goes up again, takes out the second high, and starts to retrace lower and keep going. You'll find that you'll see that if you look back on an hourly chart or a 4-hour chart of Euro USD, you'll see that quite frequently. Not like every 5 minutes, but you'll see it. At least that's what I've noticed anyway. So that's to answer the question regarding where we're at currently. You will notice, or you'll see on Euro USD, okay, that price had a really nice drop today, whereas EURJPY, our study pair, didn't quite move as much. Just a little bit of a muted start to the week. There is no news today. Tomorrow You know, we've got news coming out on Wednesday and Thursday. We've got the rate announcements. We've got the US or the USD announcement for rates, and then you've got the pound announcement for rates as well this week. So, you know, there is going to be some fireworks, I think. But just going based on this, obviously we have to factor in the strength or weakness of the Japanese yen. I'm not going to go into that at the minute because there's some things I want to show later, but I'm just waiting for a condition to set up on the Nikkei index, and then I'll hopefully be able to point something out if it happens. But we have to factor in obviously the JPY portion of the pair. But you can see it's quite a muted week as opposed to Euro USD, where we're starting to get that nice push lower now. And just completely off topic, you know, we had that push, takes out the high, push, takes out this high, push, takes out this high, drop, rejection, really nice drop today, completely negates the entire move here, this small section of price action. So any push up into this now, I am expecting low prices at least to the 109.25 level. There is a bit of a imbalance above us, so something to keep an eye on in terms of hourly. You can see the mess, so this would be the inverse level. I've already made a note of this, so I wouldn't really want to see price much past the 110.30 level, possibly the 110.40 is about as high as I would expect euro to go, but it may go sideways before continuing lower to take out this level, or it may accelerate very quickly and just drop out of bed, you know, and then the weekly chart fulfills that one objective and then starts to grind lower into the sort of 108 midpoint, 108.50 to 108 big figure. But again, that's completely off topic. It's just something else that confirms an idea that I have on EURJPY if it sets up, but then we'll have to add the Nikkei index into this. So where do we go from here? Again, you know, just because it's gapped down here, you know, we have to accept the higher time frame condition, okay, above the 4-hour condition. So what I'm saying is, if it's a choice between looking at a 4-hour level, you know, and expecting, say, price to come down here, or the higher time frame weekly or daily strength, and going against that, because at the minute obviously it's grinding higher, or at least slowing down to potentially go sideways, you know, then I'm erring on the side of the higher time frames always, yeah. But as it stands right now, in terms of 4-hour, you know, it's respected this level ever so slightly. So, you know, as I was saying in the previous video, you know, I wanted to see price come through this nice and convincingly. That's pretty convincing for me so far. It's taken out the low here as well, below this this up candle, and now we're getting a small rally into this level, okay, which could or could not hold price. You know, I don't think it's that strong in terms of holding price, but so far we're getting a small reaction. So I'd like to see this low taken, and then as this low is taken, I want to see price come down into this level, through this level, you know, and hover around about the 118.50 before potentially kind of maybe popping back up a little bit, and then we still have enough of a range, okay, around about 40 pips plus sweep, to take a trade into this as a study, but we'll see. All right, so that's where we're at with EURJPY, and I'll see what happens tomorrow. I'll say tomorrow, it's actually the 17th, it's 1:20 in the morning, so I'll be up in about 3-4 hours, check the markets quickly, do a bunch of stuff, come back in the afternoon, and I'll see where everything's at. If there's anything to note, I'll let you know. If there isn't, then it will be an evening review or update, and we'll take it from there. And sorry for talking quietly, but everybody's asleep. I don't want to wake anybody up. So I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. Have a great evening, and I'll speak to you then.